Hi guys, this is Fahd Dawood. Welcome to the final and last part in this 3-part mini video series on how to identify and purchase the best townhouse property in Dubai. So you've already selected the right developer, the right perfect development and the perfect location for the master plan community. You've then identified the perfect townhouse inside the master plan community, and now it's time to save some money. Who doesn't want to save money? I'd love to. I always help my clients save money if I can. Look, I'm going to talk about a few negotiation tactics and some ways of how you can save money. Pay attention, take some notes and use them. And look, comment, write to me if this has actually helped you save some money. The number one, first point, it's been said a lot, knowledge is power. Look, today, it's not like the Dubai market when it was 15 years ago. Transactional data, comparative pricing, and historical pricing of a particular townhouse, if you're buying a resale property, or other townhouses, even if it's off plan, is easily available in the market. It's your duty to sometimes go out and do a little bit more research to become a slight, I'm not going to call you an expert, but to gain enough knowledge to be able to know what the comparable pricing is. And if you can't have access, then your trusted agent will have access to this kind of data, especially the transactional data. The transactional data is the pricing that the same townhouse in that community or comparable community has sold for, right? Now, I add something to this. I say, knowledge is power, but knowledge properly leveraged is greater power. Why do I say that? Simple. Recently, I helped one of my clients save about 700,000 dirhams on a villa purchase. It wasn't a townhouse purchase, it was a villa purchase. But how did I go about doing this? It's very simple. Look, Dubai has certain nuances in the way that the market operates. Your trusted agent can pick up the phone, speak to either the seller or the agent, and get to the bottom of what the reality or the bottom price might be at that particular townhouse at that particular time. How do we do that? We understand where the seller is in terms of his situation, how long that property has been on the market, how many offers has the sellers have had on that particular property. Now, generally speaking, you might be considered the enemy, so agents and sellers will not give you this information. But for any experienced agent who's been in the market 3 to 5 to 10 years, this information is very easy to have. Now, once you have this information, that's when you're going to be able to leverage it properly. And that's when knowledge properly leveraged becomes greater power. Something else that you want to be able to do if you're buying a resale property is, as you're getting knowledge on the transactional data, don't stop looking at other similar properties that are in the market. Because sometimes what will happen is you've identified a property that you're about to make an offer for. You and your agent should continue looking at other properties. Why? Because something else might come onto the market. They'll be priced slightly cheaper. You have to be aware that this is the bottom price on this particular townhouse I'm getting. If you're going and buying in the off-plan market, then look out for special offers during Ramadan or Eid. Special offers such as Dubai Land Department 4% waivers, which will help you save 4%. Other incentives like free furniture that obviously, can come at a cost of 5 to 20 to 40,000 dirhams. Use these to save more money or at least gain a better advantage. Obviously, there's something very critical you have to pay attention to. You can't work backwards. You can't go and find a good offer and then choose a good developer and then choose a good townhouse. You have to choose a good developer, good townhouse, and then do the pricing and the negotiation. Don't go the other way around, you might get bitten. Second point, the pen is mightier than the sword. The written word, I would say, is mightier than the sword. Look, in our industry, there's very professional and some very unprofessional agents. If you've got a trusted agent representing you, please, there's a couple of ways you can put in an offer on a particular property. The weakest way is to put in a verbal offer, and so that the agent goes to the seller and says, look, my client is willing to buy this property for this price. Let's assume the property is 3 million dirhams. You're willing to buy it for 2.7 million. How likely is it, if you were a seller in that position, you would take this offer very seriously? Very unlikely. The strongest way, and there's many other ways in the middle, but the strongest way that I advise my clients to do is to do a written offer. We call it an offer to purchase, an OTP, with a real 10% of the offer value check that I take in possession from my client, and I hold it in sacred trust, never giving it to anybody. But when I go to the seller, I present both of these to them. I say, look, this is an offer to purchase, written, signed by the buyer. If the buyer backs out, if you accept this offer and the buyer backs out, he is going to pay you this 10% penalty. He's willing to go forward with this transaction, close it in 30 days. Now, most of the time what happens is, and this is how I helped my client save 700,000 dirhams on a property transaction recently, is I put in an offer and I allowed them to counter the offer. So the seller countered it and we went back and forth a couple of times. But the critical thing is that everything was in writing to increase the confidence of the seller. Last point, and very critical. Sometimes negotiations get drawn out and they get tiring. It's our job as the agent, and if you're doing your negotiation yourself, then look, build some stamina and come with some energy. A negotiation could be 1 hour, can stretch to 2 weeks to a month. I've seen a negotiation last a couple of months, right? Now, I'm not saying that you should be negotiating for a couple of months, but look, if you want to get your bottom price, there's one very critical rule to be applied. Test the sellers to their limit. Simple analogy I'm going to share. Have you ever washed some clothes and then right about before you're about to hang them to dry on the line, you wring them and twist the clothes and get the water out? Well, what do you do normally? You wring them, twist them, you've seen all the water come out, you twist and wring them once more, slightly applying a little bit more pressure. This is a critical thing. I don't think it's unethical, but it's very good practice to always push and then push once more to test their final limits. Know one thing though, when I'm advocating saving money and negotiating, I love saving money, and I think that your property purchase will make you money the time you buy it because you save the most money. But always be looking to buy value. The best location, the good quality, the good developer, the developer that's going to deliver on time. These things are more valuable than saving a ton of money, because saving a ton of money is going to be more expensive in the long term. So always be looking to get the best value at the best price today. I hope these 3-part video series help you. If you've got questions, comments, or if you're able to use any of these tactics, or you've got a particular situation you want help with, get in touch. Love to talk more.